The great edifice of Thomism made it possible to imagine how the different facets of social life could come under the supreme guidance of the Christian faith. This unified view of life was a defining feature of medieval thought, and its greatest articulation was the philosophy of St. Thomas Aquinas. It was this unity that was challenged and undermined by the onset of modernity. The unified view of life would give way to competing value spheres. Nowhere was this more dramatically articulated than in the work of Niccolo Machiavelli, who viewed politics as having its own independent measure of rectitude. Politics was not subject to the moral code of religion. The ruler may thus resort to immoral means if this was necessary to the maintenance of his political power. Machiavelli criticizes at length the moralistic view of politics. According to him, authority and power are essentially co-equal. Whoever has power has the right to command. But goodness does not ensure power, and the good person has no more authority by virtue of being good. Thus, the only real concern of the political ruler is the acquisition and maintenance of power. In this sense, Machiavelli presents a trenchant critique of the concept of authority by arguing that the notion of legitimate rights of rulership adds nothing to the actual possession of power. In the struggle for political power, according to Machiavelli, the ruler should emulate both the lion and the fox. Both traits must be present because, and I quote, "the lion cannot protect himself from traps, and the fox cannot defend himself from wolves." On the question of whether it is better for the ruler to be feared or to be loved, Machiavelli gives this advice, and I quote, "It is much safer to be feared than loved, because love is preserved by the link of obligation, which, owing to the baseness of men, is broken at every opportunity for their advantage. But fear preserves you by a dread of punishment which never fails." There was no metaphysical concept of justice or natural law to unify human experience by regulating the conduct of politics and all other areas of life. The governing principle of politics was power, and the ruler worthy of the name should be prepared to resort to what was necessary for the acquisition and preservation of political power. Machiavelli's work marked the beginning of an historical process that Weber would later describe as the disenchantment of the world, Entzauberung der Welt. This process meant the steady retreat of metaphysics and religion, with their associated notions of virtue, from public life and its displacement by instrumental rationality represented by science, bureaucracy, and the market. Within Machiavelli's fragmented view of the world, rulers must always guard against the uncertainties of fortune, and politics ought to be viewed with utter pragmatism. It was this pragmatism, this pursuit of expediency, that many found repugnant, and which led to a search for a governing principle from which could be derived reliable standards of political behavior. This was one of the drivers of modern political theorizing.